All right. We're starting something a little bit new on the show this year. There are a number of you that send me news stories, and one account in particular sends me the craziest stories. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I could start a thing where maybe like once a week or once every other week, we do like the craziest stories, right? And that's going to start tonight. We have two stories that I'm putting together here because they're both crazy as hell. That happened this week. Two of the craziest stories that happened this week. It is wild in these streets. The first one, I didn't believe it. You may not either, but it's real. Can you believe that a man claims that he was shot by his dog? Not his friend, not a family member, not a stranger, not a human being, but his dog. I kid you not, folks. Let's go ahead and bring in this clip here. By the way, he is alive, but this is wild.
First at 5 on your news leader, a Fraser man recovering from a gunshot wound, and you won't believe who he claims shot him. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Hurst.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. The bizarre incident happened early Monday morning on Whitney Avenue. WREG's Mike Sirianni picks up the story from here.
You probably heard the expression, when dog bites man, it's not news. When man bites dog, it could be news. But when dog shoots owner, now you got a real story.
That's reportedly what happened at this address on Whitney Avenue in Fraser early Monday morning.
I know what happened. I just know somebody got shot.
A disturbing scene for this person who didn't want to be identified.
First the police pulled up, and then the fire truck, then the ambulance.
According to police, a man and woman at this address were lying in bed, relaxing and talking, when the man's dog jumped on the bed, got its paw stuck in the trigger guard of a weapon, and ended up hitting the trigger. The weapon discharged, a round grazing the top left thigh of the 39-year-old man. Monday, family and friends came by, but did not want to appear on camera and were still processing what happened.
And you're probably still processing what happened as well. So if you can visualize this, walk with me here. He says his dog jumped up on the bed, and I guess that's where he had his weapon. And I guess the little dog's paw got stuck in between where the trigger was, and the trigger goes off and shoots the man. Now, luckily, he is alive. From what I understand, he was chilling on the bed with his girlfriend, but somehow dog made gun go off. And I don't know. Some people are asking this question, is that really what happened? Or did he accidentally shoot himself and then blame the dog? I don't know, but I am picturing this in my mind, and I'm thinking it's possible. It's possible it could have happened. I mean, dog gone wild. For real.
A freak incident, and the dog jumped up and caused the gun to discharge.
A friend of the victim told me the dog involved is a pit bull, about a year-old, named Oreo.
Yeah, he's really friendly. He is a pit bull, but he's a very friendly pit bull.
And of course, it had to be a pit bull. This is another reason why I wanted to cover the story. Of course, it had to be a pit bull because the belief about pit bulls that they're aggressive or whatever. Of course, it had to be a pit bull.
Really odd, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Is your friend going to be okay?
Yes, he's fine. He's fine.
The victim was taken to Regional 1. When police asked for the weapon, the victim told them the woman left the house and took the weapon with her. Police did recover one shell casing. I was told Oreo is at home, but I was not allowed to take his picture. For your news leader in Fraser, Mike Sirianni, WREG News Channel 3.
So it's sad, huh?
Quite the unusual story there. And the victim, 39-year-old Gerald Kirkwood, has been discharged from the hospital. Police have ruled this an accidental injury, and their reports do not indicate any charges were filed.
First at 5.
So I think the lesson to be learned from this story is that, number one, you're supposed to always have the safety on. And I know those of you, we've talked about this before on Call In, but for people who are gun owners, that is what, like, the first cardinal rule, right? To always have the safety on. So there's that. And yes, I've heard of accidents happening with guns with humans. Not with a dog. So this was new to me. What was also kind of weird about the story is that they said, well, the girlfriend left and took the gun with her. That was kind of weird to me too. And it kind of makes me wonder, what if it was the girlfriend who actually shot him because he pissed her off or whatever, and she left. And so he's like, I'm going to blame my dog. I don't know. Like, I don't know what to say. I don't want to laugh. I'm sorry for laughing. This is bad. I'll stop laughing. But you can see, guys, even The Guardian covered this story. Tennessee man shot by his dog while lying in bed. A bullet grazed the Memphis man's thigh after his 1-year-old pit bull got his paw stuck in a gun's trigger guard. And here's little pup, you know? So, I guess little puppy was just chilling, minding his own business. I don't know, but this bothers me. I'm like, is that really what happened? Like, are you maybe trying to put this on the dog? And here it is here. You'll see it says the woman accompanying Kirkwood and Oreo reportedly left the home where the shooting occurred and took the gun with her, while the wounded man was brought to a hospital in non-critical condition. So my question is, why would she have taken the weapon with her? Why? I need some answers to these questions. That's a bit bizarre to me. Like, oh no, we need to find the girlfriend. Where are you? So think about that. That's a crazy ass story. And it's wild out here in these streets. But that's not the only crazy ass story. It appears there's another one where a gentleman was shot because he got into a fight over chicken. Now, this took place in Seattle. Another wild and crazy story, ladies and gentlemen. You got to see it to believe it. Talk about road rage. We're talking about chicken rage. Let's go.
Turmoil outside a Safeway parking lot spirals into even more violence.
I was in the military. I never got shot, but I get shot in Safeway over some chicken.
The Army veteran and father of 3 says he just got off work at a nearby business when he and his coworker bought Safeway's Monday night cheap chicken deal and were eating in a car parked outside the grocery chain.
And I was throwing my chicken onto the ground outside my window so I didn't get any mess in my coworker's car.
That's when
I'm out. Why are you throwing chicken bones out of the window of the car? What? You're right outside of the Safeway. There's a trash can outside of that Safeway. Why are you just rolling down the window going, boop, just throwing the chicken bones just out the window? I'm so confused. What is happening? Are you okay? Are people okay? People okay? I don't think they're okay.
he says another driver parked next to them and accused Grant of throwing chicken bones at her vehicle.
She opens up the car and steps onto some chicken, and she's like, "What the? Why is there chicken on the ground?" And she looks over at me and it's like, "Are you serious, man? You're throwing chicken onto the ground?" And I'm like, "Who cares? Leave me alone. F off."
A police report says the argument escalated when the other driver took scissors and tried slashing Grant's tires.
And I jump out of the car and I tackle her to the ground and I put her into citizen's arrest.
The chaos captured on his coworker's cell phone.
Stopping my tires.
3820 Rainier Avenue South.
You under arrest.
So this woman here was upset because she stepped out of the car and apparently, I guess, stepped on one of his chicken bones or something like that. Whatever. And apparently, I guess, decided she was going to fight him because of it. Now, and I'm just thinking about, this is all over chicken. You know? Think about that for a second.
I'm not
Grant says he didn't even realize the gun you see pointed at his head was in the other driver's hand at the time.
I let off just a little bit because I don't want to choke her. I just want to stop her, restrain her so the cops come.
As security is on the phone with 911.
You're throwing at my.
Chrome said the same lady who blamed the dog.
One dude chicken at your son. You stepped out on some chicken and got mad at me and started throwing some.
Let go.
Gun! Grant is shot in the leg.
I'm gonna shoot you again, bro. Get off of me.
Another woman is seen coming, but apparently not to help Grant.
Now, for the people who are standing there and are filming, my question is, why aren't they trying to help? While you're holding your camera and you're recording, why isn't anybody trying to help him, right? So now he's trying to fight this woman. This is wild, man. And the other woman who comes over, who you think is going to help him, is actually there to help the woman who got freaked out over the chicken and shot him over the chicken.
What are you doing? She just shot me. She just shot him. Get off of him.
Why aren't you helping me? Why are you helping her? And that's when my coworker runs over and pulls her.
Police believe this other woman is the suspect's girlfriend and that both ran away from the scene on South Andover Street, then north on Rainier Avenue South.
So she's willing to shoot somebody over chicken. She's willing to shoot somebody over anything. You know?
While Grant recovers in the hospital, he worries about his family and mounting medical bills.
I have 3 children. I have a mother-in-law that lives in our house, so I have to get back to work as fast as possible.
And that's the sad reality of all of this. He just got shot. He's in the hospital. But notice what he said there at the end, that he has to get back to work because he has a family that he has to take care of. That is the reality in the capitalist system. That's the reality. How many of you have had times when you've been injured or you've been sick, but that you had to ignore that because you had to get back to work because you had bills to pay? Everybody doesn't have sick leave, paid sick leave in this country, right? A lot of people I know, when I waited tables, we didn't have paid sick leave. So that's something to think about. But that part right there hit home when he said, I got to get back to, think about what he's really thinking about. Not, I should rest and get better. I got to get back to work because I have a family I got to take care of. I got bills to pay. All of this over some chicken.
Grant tells me he could be released from Harborview as early as tomorrow. As for the shooting suspect, police want this person to turn themselves into the nearest police station. And if anyone knows more about what happened to Grant, to call 911 or the SPD Violent Crimes Tip Line.
Okay, so if you guys recognize that woman or whatever, you know, there's a number there that you can call. But my thing is, the people who were filming it on their phone know exactly what that person looks like. The people who were filming it know exactly, you know, like they could point that person out in the lineup. So why aren't they talking to the person that had the camera and I don't know. I don't know. Those are the craziest stories this week. And as I told you, it is wild in these damn streets. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.